This is just a little addition to the video I made about your first drone. This is just to kind of reiterate some of the stuff that we already talked about, and also touch on a couple points of the new Yuneec Q500 4K, which is the black one over there to your right, the charcoal gray or gunmetal as they call it. I'm just going to talk real briefly about what you want to do if you're getting into this hobby, and some shortcuts and some mistakes that I've made. And these are just my opinions. They're not fact. Everybody has opinions, and you know, this is just my 2 cents worth. So anyway, if you are first getting into this hobby and you want to find out what you should do to crash less, I would suggest you go out and pick up one of these little trainer drones. There's newer designs now. This one here is it's the Nano QX. This one here is a bind and fly, but they actually have them as a complete set. It comes with a little remote control, and it works great. They're for inside your house. Very, very simple to fly. It's good for you to learn. What you want to do is, this is the rear of the craft. Just start out by learning to try to hover over a certain object, and just learn to, as you're drifting, to bring it back into a hover and stay in one location. And then as you start to get more comfortable with that, I would say go out and learn how to go in a box. You put a box on the ground, and you want to fly this in a box with the rear of the craft just facing you, and just go around in a box. And once you've mastered that, you can start working on turning the craft and going around in a box. The problem that most people have, especially when you're first starting out, is once you get turned around and the craft is facing you, or even sideways, what they seem to do is, when you're flying, this is the rear of the craft of the drone, when you're flying and you take the stick and you go right, the drone will go right. The problem is when the drone is spun around and you have a simple drone without a smart mode feature. When you turn right, this drone will go to its right. And when you're flying and you're hovering, it gets very confusing, and people have a hard time having that drone facing them in an opposite or even canted, and being able to control it without crashing into something. The good thing is that once you've just mastered something simple like this, like I said, there's new versions of this out. Once you've mastered this in your house and you've actually started to be able to just hover, you can graduate to something new, which is a bigger platform, which we're going to briefly talk about. People are always asking, well, there's the DJI Phantom3, there's Yuneec, the Q500 series, there's still a few of these Blade 350 QX3s out there, and of course, if you have big money, there's the Inspire. There's a lot of different manufacturers. These are the ones that I'm kind of focusing on. There's the new Chroma that's out now from Horizon Hobby. It's also manufactured by Yuneec, but the only thing I don't like about the Chroma is the battery is proprietary. In other words, you have to purchase the batteries for that craft only from Horizon Hobby. You have to use their charger. What's nice about the Yuneec batteries are they give you two, first of all, but if you look at the bottom of these, the bottom connector will actually take a standard E3 plug. That's what it's called. It's called an E3. So you can actually plug it in there, and you can plug in a balance lead into a regular rapid charger, and you can charge these up on a regular rapid charger. You can't do that on the new plug that's on the Chroma. If you take a look at the Horizon Hobby Chroma, they have made it strictly proprietary, and I think that just killed it for me. Just not being able to use outside chargers, I think it's really dumb. It's just an opportunity for them to sell you more stuff. So anyway, let me just talk to you briefly about the next steps. This remote control here is able to bind to all of these in several different craft. You do not need to go out and purchase yourself a DX18 or anything that extravagant. I use this for other drones, so instead of using a remote control for that one, a special remote control, I use one remote for all of them. This particular craft, the QX3, if you take a look at my other video, I talk a little bit more about it. I think it sucks. Honestly, I can't put it any nicer than that. I've lost 3 of them to a flyaway, and this is my 4th here. The last one that I lost on a flyaway, I lost video sync, or all remote control, everything. I lost complete control and synchronization with the transmitter, and it flew away with a GoPro 4 attached, first person view, carbon fiber props, max amp battery, altimeter. It was everything you can imagine that was on that craft. It just had a mind of its own, decided to leave. So you know, you lose 1, shame on me. You lose 2, you're an idiot. You lose 3, and I'm a complete moron. So here's number 4 sitting there, and every time I fly it, I'm crossing my fingers. I will not attach a GoPro to it, just because I have no faith in that at all. I have flown this with the Seago 2 camera attached, and I can tell you that it works fine. I've attached a Mobius to it, and it's fine, but I just it gives me weird LED indications when I fly it and go out and do hard flying or stunts with it. It just doesn't work real well. This here is the QX200. It is, I took the landing gears off in case you're wondering, and the reason I did that is for stunts. This thing is a rocket ship. I would not suggest getting that, going from this to this. This is a very advanced craft. It has no return to home features or anything like that. It is a strictly manual type of operation, and if you get in trouble too far away from you, there is no return to home feature on it. The next drone I want to talk to you about is the DJI Phantom3. The Inspire really is not in this type of a league. This Inspire is in a league all by its own, really. It's phenomenal. The thing is just really amazing when it comes to what the capabilities are of that craft. But the price point is also pretty high. I mean, you're talking with the 2 remote controls, you're well over $3 grand. You add a bunch of batteries like you have there. Each one of those batteries are a couple $100. So yeah, you can certainly add this up very, very quick, and then you have to add the iPad or iPhone to any of those transmitters, and it becomes much, much worse. The other thing is, if you look at the Phantom 3, this is the professional edition. It only comes with 1 battery, so you're going to be purchasing extra batteries for it. You get about 20 minutes of flight time out of it, and the batteries run about $150 a piece. And 1 transmitter. The transmitter is very similar to those 2, but you'll have to watch some of my other videos where we talk about the difference in transmitters. But the one thing I will tell you is DJI customer service compared to, say, the Yuneec, night and day. The Phantom 3 also has what's called light bridge, so if you're looking for something that has a long distance for flying and maintaining video signal, the Phantom 3 is really extreme. The problem is if you are a brand new flyer or someone that doesn't have a lot of experience, you're going to get yourself into a lot of trouble just because of the fact that you get it out past your line of sight. You're going to get turned around. You could have some problems running into an object, a tree, terrain, whatever the case might be, just because of the extreme distances. And I've seen a lot of people that have taken the DJI products and pushed them out well past what their capabilities are of flying, and they got themselves into a heap of trouble just because of the fact that they weren't able to get home. They flipped the return to home feature and it crashed into an object because they weren't thinking about power lines and stuff like that. So anyway, let me move on to the Yuneec Q500. The Yuneec Q500, this is the 4K. They also have the 500 Plus, which is all white. It comes with 2 batteries also, and it comes with a transmitter. You may have saw my other video where we talked a little bit about the 500. The difference between the 500 and the 500 Plus is the 500 Plus has a bigger screen, a couple different upgrades. This is the 4K. The 4K has obviously the 4K camera. It comes in gunmetal gray. It comes with that case back there. I'm not going to reiterate the unboxing stuff. Everybody's done that. But I will tell you that the 4K camera has all of the features on this transmitter, so you can actually get into the settings and change whatever you want to shoot, whether it's RAW, JPEG, 4K, whatever. Light, your white balance, your lighting, everything is controlled all on the monitor. You don't have to attach a phone, anything. It's all done right here. The other great thing that this has is what's called Follow me wherever you walk. You guys can check it out on YouTube. Everybody's got videos up showing you what it does. As you walk, that will follow you. The one key thing that you want to do is make sure that that is up high enough so as you're walking around, you don't go and run into a tree. Yes, I've seen that happen. There's a couple of things about this drone that I'm going to do a real quick video on what you can do to save yourself from breaking props. The one thing that there's a couple things about the Q500 that I don't really like, which is the landing. It's a little bit bouncy as it comes down. It likes to pulsate a little bit as it comes down, and if you're not on level surface, it can tip. That's the one thing that's kind of characteristic of the Q500. It's real minor, and I'm going to show you how to get around that. It's what I do. I like catching the drone, actually. Don't advise it if you're brand new or if you have little kids. I'm just going to show you what I do. What you do on your own is on your own, folks. I'm just going to show you what I do, but I'll show you also how stable this craft is. I'm also going to tell you about when you're taking off with this craft. A lot of the mistakes that people do is they put this in full GPS mode and they take off, and the craft has a safe circle, and it wants, if you're too close to this transmitter, as that takes off, it will want to get away from you. But I will talk a little bit more about that in depth on another video. I don't want to make this run any longer than it already has. So in a nutshell, I will tell you that this Q500 is just a great drone. The monitors is big. Everything's inclusive in here. The support that you get from Yuneec is fantastic. If you're asking about video range on the Yuneec, I will tell you that I did take this out a few times. We flew it at night, we flew it during the daytime. The maximum range that I'm getting with this Seago 3 camera is about the exact same of what I was getting with the Seago 2. If you watch some of my other videos on the Seago 2, we were getting about 1,450 plus odd feet straight up, and we're getting about the same thing with this. We didn't do a straight up shot just because of the fact that I couldn't get the air verified to be clear when we were flying, so we just stayed at 400 feet altitude and we went out. As we went out with this, I was able to get, I was losing signal at about 1,000, and then sometimes I was losing at about 1,400, 1,450. So safely, you could say 1,000 feet with the Seago 3 camera to maintain video link and telemetry. Telemetry means your altitude, your ground speed, and so forth. That's telemetry. All of those readings come out here on your display. So we were able to maintain video feed and telemetry safely to 1,000 feet. We pushed it out to about 1,450, I think, is where we were maxing it. I know there's some videos out there that people are claiming to get more than that. I haven't been able to do that. I've tried several different areas, and I haven't been able to push it out to those other extremes. But you know, that's not to say that they weren't able to do that. We weren't able to duplicate that. This demo unit from Yuneec is very well used, and it's been through a lot, but it's been brilliant. It's really been a great drone to fly. And again, if you are just getting into this hobby, or if you've been flying for a while and you have some of the smaller ones or a different manufacturer and you want to graduate up to a better camera platform, this is not a speed demon by any means. The maximum speed I think on this is about 14 miles an hour. That's about the average that I get, no wind on this. The Phantom 3 is a little bit faster. It is more nimble, I would say, but you also have to keep in mind that this is a little bit more fragile. If you crash with this, I know that if you take a look at some of the videos from other people, they talk about this. Let's see if I can see it. The little, where is that? There we go. If you can see that little electronic cable right there that connects to the gimbal, that thing is pretty fragile, and I've already seen a lot of my friends, they've had problems already just from having a hard landing with that gimbal, and they've had to send their drone back to DJI, and that takes a while. But the Yuneec, we put those things through the test. I watched them, you know, people that weren't paying attention and crashed them into trees. They've been through a lot, those things are pretty robust. You know, other than breaking off the blades every once in a while and whatnot, they're pretty strong. So I know I went over the 15-minute mark on the video. I apologize, folks, but thanks for watching, and I will hopefully get some videos up of the Yuneec and some of the 4K capabilities of it. Take a look on YouTube. There's plenty of them out there. There's lots of people that talk about the 4K video quality and what it can do, but this is just my 2 cents worth on what you guys can do and what you might be looking for if you're looking to get into this hobby. Thanks again.